Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes. Okay. My name is Michelle Monsegur. I'm the Assistant Town Administrator here, and I'd like to welcome you all to Hingham. Thank you for joining us this morning to celebrate Hingham and Hanson's designations as green communities. This is a really exciting day, and we're happy that so many of you could make it. I'd like to welcome our friends and neighbors from the town of Hanson. We're very happy to share this milestone with you as we become green communities together. Yay! We'd also like to welcome all of the residents, volunteers, and state and local officials to this event. Putting together our Green Communities application was truly a collaborative townwide event. In particular, we'd like to thank Seth Pickering from DOER for working hard to guide a municipal light plant town like Hingham through the Green Communities process. Nicole Sanchez from MAPC for helping to put together our energy reduction plan. The town's Energy Action Committee. Brad, I have to ask you just to stand up and take a bow, please. That's Brad Moyer, Ken Brown, Scott Sear, Mike Kacharovich, Ben Kerman, Paul Henyu, John Ferris, and Beth Porter for their advocacy efforts to get to the town to the point we're at today. I'd also like to thank Paul Henyu and his team at the Hingham Municipal Light Plant for their teamwork in making this initiative a success. All of the departments who fulfilled my endless data requests, especially Randy Sylvester from Public Works and John Ferris from the school department, the team at Energy Source for completing all of our energy audits in the fall, Town Administrator Tom Mayo for his support, and of course the Board of Selectmen, Paul Healy, Mary Power, who's here with us today, and Karen Johnson for their support of Hingham's Green Communities application, and all of the other staff and volunteers who supported the town's efforts. Thank you all so much. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Town Administrator Tom Mayo to say a couple words. Thank you.
Slide this up so I can see Joan. I couldn't see around the corner. Okay. So I just wanted to tell a very brief story. First of all, so those of you who don't know, I've been here for about 3 years. Came to the town of Hingham from the town of Mashpee, where I was there for 10 years. And I worked in a variety of roles when I was in Mashpee. One of those roles was as their energy coordinator. And in 2010, I had the great honor of being part of the inaugural Green Communities class. So I've seen firsthand the benefits that this program brings to local communities. When I heard that Hingham was eligible, I was just absolutely elated because, again, I'd seen this firsthand. We had just hired Michelle Monsegur, who you just heard from, and Michelle, once hearing of this program, took that ball and ran with it. She worked closely with Seth and Brad and the team at MAPC and others, and really did a great job at bringing this home. She was really, in my opinion, she was able to position Hingham to realize designation in a fairly short period of time, though it may not have seemed that way to Brad and others along the way, but it certainly was a lot of work that got done very well. Just a very quick story. In 2010, when we were first inaugurated, or when we were first designated, I attended a formal event up at the State House. And it was held at just at the base of the grand staircase. The governor and all these elected officials were all around us, and it was a wonderful event. And I like to bring this up because in my remarks at the time, I told the gathered crowd that communities in the Commonwealth were lucky to have such a forward-thinking and supportive state government. The program is comprehensive in nature, as Michelle and Brad and everyone learned through this process here in Hingham, and I'm sure in Hanson as well. But it's well thought out, and it's made achievable by the staff at DOER and that the state provides through the DOER. It's as true today as it was 9 years ago. And the work being done by DOER and now by 240 communities across the state, including Hingham and Hanson, this is important work. The environmental benefits are many, and they're well documented, and the financial support to help communities do the right thing is vital and is, in my opinion, government at its best. So thank you to DOER for your efforts and allowing us as the town of Hingham, and I'm sure the town of Hanson would agree for allowing us to be a part of this program. With that said, it's my honor to introduce Commissioner of the Commissioner of the Department of Energy Resources, Judith Judson. Judith has spent her career working to modernize the U.S. electric grid and to improve energy storage. In addition to her role with DOER, Judith chairs the Massachusetts Energy Efficiency Council and the Greenhouse Gas Initiative, Inc., the RGGI, and the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center. So, Judith?
All right, good morning and welcome. As said, I'm Judith Judson, Commissioner of the Department of Energy Resources. It is terrific to be here in Hingham. Thank you so much, Tom, Michelle, for hosting us today, and to your entire teams. I really do want to congratulate Hingham and Hanson. It is a terrific accomplishment. We are thrilled to have you as green communities. And it really does, I don't know if this is here, it really does make a difference. Not only it won't make a difference in your community, and it makes a difference for the entire Commonwealth. I also want to thank our state and local officials that are here today, Representative Moschino, Representative Cutler, Senator O'Connor. I don't know if Representative Murphy is here, but it is with our partners in the legislature. It's a collaboration, the Baker-Polito administration, working with the legislature, that we have really been able to move these green, efficient energy programs forward. So we're very thankful for that support and the work that's been happening. I also want to recognize all the local officials here and the volunteers. I know many local officials are also volunteers, but it isn't easy to become a green community. There's 5 criteria. They take several steps. It requires going to town meeting and really encouraging your local residents to be part of this program. It requires a commitment of reducing energy by 20% over the next 5 years for the municipality, as well as some changes to building codes and to other things. But that commitment does pay off. We're very happy that we now have 240 green communities across the state. It's home to 78% of our state's population. And it makes a difference. And in terms of that, when all 240 communities reduce their energy consumption by 20%, it will be the equivalent of taking 50,000 cars off the road annually. The amount of energy to heat and to electrify 21,000 homes annually. And it's the equivalent of greenhouse gas emissions of over 248,000 metric tons. This makes a difference. It makes our region, our environment more clean. It also saves energy, and what that also means for municipalities in particular is it lowers the municipality's utilities bill. So it's less cost to power and to heat municipal buildings, and that turns into real savings that can be used for other priorities, such as schools, such as public safety. It returns those dollars directly to the community, and that is a benefit that the Baker-Polito administration is very proud of. I also want to recognize National Grid is here, the partnership we have with our utilities. Massachusetts has now been the #1 state in energy efficiency for the last 8 years, and it is in no small part to the work that we do with our utilities and the Mass Save program. We're proud of that. It is also because we're one of the only states in the country to have a program like Green Communities, to have that state municipal partnership to recognize at the local level is where we can really make a difference when it comes to saving energy. So we're proud of that program, and we really thank you for your commitment to it. So with that, I do want to congratulate you again, Hingham and Hanson. This year we had 30 green communities, adding to that 240, bringing that to 240. And we're really happy that we've been able to work with all our communities, particularly those with municipal light plants, to find a way into the program and make sure that we can do everything we can for all 351 communities. So with that, I also want to thank my Green Communities team. We have Nick Connors here, our Director of Green Communities. We have Seth Pickering, your Regional Director, who I know you know very well, and you'll continue to know him well because now that you get these grants, now you got to put the projects into action. And then once these are completed, we then have additional grants that the towns can become eligible for. So Seth is very happy to work with you, and please use our Green Communities team as a resource as you move forward. And with that, what next steps are, we will invite our representatives and senator up to say a few words. Then I'll bring up our Green Communities Director, Nick, to we'll both present the certificate, the big check, and the amount of the grant. And that's exciting, that big check. And then, invite everyone up who was a part of it for pictures. So with that, I don't know who we want to start with, but if our representatives would like to come up, and then our senator.
That's right, the host, we sit together. So for those of you from Hanson, I'm Joan Moschino. I'm the state rep for Hingham. And I just want to welcome you again to our beautiful community. It's absolutely a delight and a pleasure to represent the town of Hingham because they have such a wonderful commitment over decades and decades of stewardship of the environment. And programs like this just really give the town the tools that they need and the incentives just to take all of those extra steps. And I am just thrilled by the Energy Efficiency Committee and the selectmen because I can't wait to see what innovations that they will absolutely do. And they're a community that you should always keep an eye on and share with other towns. And because I promise you, whatever comes out of Hingham will be something that will be to replicate. We have a wonderful commitment here. Our light plant has always striven for renewable energy and is already a leader well in excess, 100%, I think, renewable, carbon free. So this is a community that has always led, and we're delighted to have found a way to participate. Thank you for being open to that, and just congratulations to all of the team here. You guys are amazing, so thank you. Rep. Cutler.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Josh Cutler, proud to be here on behalf of the town of Hanson. The folks who really should be up here are our local officials who've worked so hard on this application. I wanted to thank, we have Wes Bloss from our Board of Selectmen here in Hanson, who's done a terrific amount of work on this. Congratulations, Wes. He's rolling his eyes at me, but he deserves it. And also his fellow selectman, Matt Dyer, who's been very involved in this. And we have a great group called Green Hanson that's been active for a number of years and has some great volunteers, Marianne Damasio and many others who've been working very hard on putting this together. I'm proud that the 6th Plymouth District is now a green district. So thank you, Commissioner. Thank you all of you for your great work, and congratulations.
Once they got up there, I thought I should have just walked up there too. Honestly, just thank you to all the local officials that put this together. Serving as a councilor in Weymouth when we were designated as a green community as the president of the council in Weymouth, I know that this is a heavy lift, that there's a lot of stipulations and requirements that come with making sure that the designation really means something. And I commend DOER for all of the work that you do throughout the year and throughout the years, really, of this program to try to make as many communities as possible understand the benefits of this partnership. And I think that what you see here and what we've seen in other communities is that it's not just a big check at one point in time, it's that assistance and resources that DOER will provide to towns as they continue to green their grid and continue to invest in this green economy that we need to foster as much as we possibly can. Speaking yesterday just at one of the lobby days for 100% renewable energy future in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This, I believe, is one of the many ways that the state goes to show that they are a team player with our communities. And when you look at a time of incredible fixed costs with healthcare rising, with OPEB and all the other things, that pension liability that are on the horizons, it's tough for communities to make these investments into things that some might say are technically non-essential in the field of public education and public safety and public works. But then the state stepped up and said, let's work together, and that's something that's really special. And I'm so proud of all the work that Hingham has done and the town of Hanson has done to make this a reality here today. So congratulations to everyone involved, and thank you again to the state for this continued partnership.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nick Connors. I'm the director of the Green Communities Program. I just have a brief description of each of the two communities, and then, as the commissioner said, we have street signs, a certificate, and then the most important part, the giant check with the funds for towns to begin spending. First, I'll start with Hingham. The most recent iteration began in November of 2016, where after looking at it years ago, folks reached out again to Seth to begin the process and see what was possible here in town. The Energy Committee worked hand in hand with the local leaders, and we were thrilled when you came through with the designation application last fall to join this class. I know I can speak for Seth in saying it's been a pleasure for him to work with all of you to pursue this designation, and he has really enjoyed the partnership from his side as well. I think it's also really important to mention Hingham Municipal Light Plant. The MLP towns are something that are obviously unique within our program, and we have to work a little extra hard, but also we need a real partnership from the MLP. And in this case, that was true. They worked hand in hand with Grid to make sure that we could pay for the audits and all of the other things that needed to be done in advance, as well as gathering all the necessary information for the community to submit their application. So thank you very much for all of your help. After the stretch code vote, the team was led by the administrator and assistant administrator, and we were very happy to work with MAPC and you. And we are excited today to present you with this check. The designation grant today is for $142,232. And I know you're now working with MAPC, Seth, and others to identify which ECMs, which energy conservation measures will be implemented. So we'd love to invite the volunteers, the elected officials, and other leaders up for a photo here next to our map with the check and Seth, you as well. Great to have you up here. The second application, the second recognition. I'll be quick. Hanson, like Hingham, was a community that showed interest in this program from the very beginning and actually passed the stretch code in 2010. As with many of our communities over the last couple of years, we've seen a renewed interest, and we were very excited when you reached out to our regional director, Seth, and began the process, and also worked hand in hand with the Old Colony Planning Council. We're excited to have you, and the designation grant for today, I'll get right to it, is for $151,183. We'd love for the entire team, selectmen, Old Colony, everyone to come up for a photo now, as well as the representative to receive the designation.
We don't have quite the army that Hingham has.
We're on the edge.
I'll get the other side, actually. We'll get it this way. No, Wes, you gotta be in the center.
Oh, no.
Wes, come on.
So that concludes our program for today. Someone from each town as well. We have the street signs that many other communities have put on major roads coming into the communities. We'd love for you to grab those today on the way out, and thank you all very much for coming today. And thanks for having us.